Hi everyone, Lawrence here from Import Export TV. I'm here with Ruza, who's our new transport logistics supply chain journalist, who we're so excited to have part of the team. So welcome aboard, Ruza. How are you?
Thanks, Lawrence. I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Look, really excited about having you as part of the team. I know you've got almost 20 years worth of journalist experience across a number of sectors, about 10 years or so that in the transport logistics space. Is that right?
That's right, yep.
I know, when we talked about you coming on board, you were really interested and excited about showcasing the game changers or the people who are really disrupting the supply chain and logistics sector across Australia. Tell us a bit about game changers and what you see as a game changer in the marketplace.
Well, Game Changers is all about the leading transport and logistics operators, so shedding some light onto their operations and new technology and how they actually play the game. So it's about following those new entrants into the industry and seeing how they're disrupting the game and how they're doing things differently.
Yeah, I think definitely, especially with COVID and all these other disruptions, the evolution of transport, supply chain, logistics has taken a whole new energy of its own over especially the last 12, 18 months. But even in your time being a journalist in this whole sector, let's say coming up to 10 years, have you seen a whole range of changes, and what are those type of changes? What are the key areas of change?
I guess changes for the smaller to medium operators would be what changes they've made within technology. Are they keeping up with new automation and softwares?
And the other thing that I've really noticed as well over my time in supply chain is that there's a lot of SMEs, operators, and there's an upper echelon of some big boys, but really it's a real challenge to increase awareness and show companies or showcase what their capabilities are. And that's what I really see about your capability to go out to the marketplace right across Australia and show what these SMEs and big boys are doing and how they're disrupting the industry and how they're really servicing their customers.
That's right. Not a lot of operators out there are that keen to showcase themselves and to share what it is that they do so well. So with transport, it's not just transport in itself. You've got different players within transport where warehousing plays a part, and then you've got the different divisions of transport, for example, from fashion movers to refrigerated transport to line haul, you name it. So there's different sectors.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's so many nuances and really focal points of certain carriers and service providers. They've developed a level of expertise to raise their profile, but it's still an opportunity for us as Import Export TV to really highlight how they are changing the landscape of logistics and supply chain across the country. And one of the things that I'm excited about, Ruza, is that when you look at Australia as a landscape, it's very different to any other market in the world. So it's a very big marketplace, very expensive to transport goods across all states and borders. And for a relatively small population, if you don't do it efficiently and smartly, you can quite quickly go out of business. So the ones who are successful have done a really good job in doing that.
And we're seeing quite a lot of them expanding nowadays, and especially throughout the COVID time and after COVID, we've seen those small to medium players actually extending the game and doing even better than previously where they are. So they are expanding their services, they are taking on board new warehouses, they are looking into new softwares and new technology.
Yeah, I think you've touched on something, and we talked about it before we started the interview, around the rise of e-commerce, integration, how companies are really starting to work with their clients on a technical scale, and they're using technology to service their customers in a much stronger way. So is that one of your focuses that you want to talk about with Game Changers as well?
Definitely. We've seen throughout COVID and with online shopping that has put a huge pressure on e-commerce, and with major players upping the game. So even auto operators who haven't thought about e-commerce and delivering 3-hour window opportunities or even same-day delivery, they are now changing their way of thinking, for sure.
I think supply chain especially, rise to the surface as an important factor of any business during COVID. And I think that so many companies and customers, for that matter, recognise the importance of, if you've got a great supply chain, a great logistics or warehousing offering, that can make or break your customer service capabilities and therefore your sales and your profitability and your longer term success. So one of the really cool things that you're bringing to the forefront with Game Changers is that, those companies here in Australia who are doing so many extra little things to make that customer service a big difference in experience. So, yeah.
Well, with customers, I think that the customers are definitely expecting a lot more nowadays, and the pressure is a lot stronger. And people are realizing that if they aren't meeting those customer needs, then they'll be out of the game. So companies are doing everything that they can to be on top of that.
So tell me, who are the type of companies or individuals who you'd love to interview on Game Changers?
Well, anybody from, large operators to medium to small operators, nationwide really. I've done 300 articles over the past decade about operators from small to medium and large. So anybody who's keen to tell their story, more than welcome to contact me. Would love to hear the story.
Wonderful. I think, as you've just heard from Ruza there, I think there's a whole range of unsung heroes, if you like, that really deserve to have their story told, not just on a domestic Australian level, but the whole point of Import-Export TV is to show what is possible, what is capable, to inspire and demonstrate to people all around the world what can happen in a fantastic global supply chain. So welcome aboard, Ruza. We're really excited to have you as part of the team. Really delighted to have your experience and skill set as a professional journalist to really bring these stories to life. So thanks so much for coming on board, and looking forward to so many more interviews with you and rolling that out on Import-Export TV.
Thanks, Lawrence. My pleasure. Thanks for having me on board.